Hello and welcome to the Catching Up podcast with Ananya and Katrina, two college friends who are doing their best to keep catching up while pursuing their goals and dreams. We both actually met at the same business school, and we've had some time to think about the things that were helpful and the things that weren't so helpful. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about the things that were really helpful from business school. And then in the next episode, we'll talk about the things that were not as helpful. Ananya is going to get us started with a quote that one of her professors shared with her, and this quote is from Henry Ford.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
So Ananya, what are your top takeaways from business school?
I feel like let me do with three main takeaways from the top of my head. And I think first it would be people. People that make up the business school are just so important and they are the treasure. Even more important than the classes. It's the people who make up the most productive part of a business school. So networking is very important with your professors, with your friends. I think my second takeaway would be there are classes, but what I have found super helpful is there's one thing that class is going to teach you. And so try to figure out that one thing instead of being too focused on everything. Try to figure out what is that one main thing that class is like trying to teach you. And then I feel the third takeaway for me is everybody is winging it. Everyone. So it's okay if you feel like what is going on or you don't understand things because everyone is winging it.
Yeah.
What are your takeaways from business school?
I would say networking is definitely the number one. I think networking is so important, and we don't really get a lot of practice outside of business school. So if you're in a different major or something, you probably don't have a lot of opportunities to network. And networking gets you so far. It gets you a job potentially. It gets you different positions in your company. I think networking is definitely number one. Number two would probably be how to give a presentation. I think presentations can be really hard and really scary, and we got a lot of opportunities in our business communications classes to do that, and then we also got just a lot of opportunities in our classes in general to give presentations and get good at them and get comfortable. And then the third thing would probably be a digital portfolio, because I don't think a lot of other students learned how to make a digital portfolio, and then we were making them in our second or third years. And so I think that really helped us to get internships, get jobs, and then just be able to talk about what we could do and what we were capable of.
I really like that. The digital portfolio was so helpful.
Yeah.
Do you think the business school kind of played a special role in shaping your personality?
I think it did. I think it made me a lot more confident. Just because you have to put yourself out there in business school. You don't
Yeah.
get an option. You have to do the presentations, you have to do the networking. You have all these required events. And so even if you're not comfortable with it at the beginning, you do it so much that it's just normal to you. And so I think confidence was probably the biggest personality change that I got. But what about you? What was your changes to your personality?
I feel like for me too, confidence is the biggest thing it gave me because, like I said, everyone's winging it. And so just that skill of winging it everywhere is very important. And even during presentations, there were times people would just show up and say it, but just because they were confident in what they were saying, you need to know how to wing it right.
Yeah, I feel like we had so many presentations in all of our classes, all the time, that there were a lot of times where you didn't have the time to just practice it a lot and get super good at it. You just had to know your stuff and be comfortable doing it on the fly.
Yeah, and I feel like at the end of the day, it all comes down to communication. And it's just you're always surrounded by people, and being able to talk to people, being able to influence them is so important. And kind of business school gives you that one key skill that you would need everywhere.
Yeah.
Very funny question. Did you learn anything from your classes? Do you think they were helpful?
I mean, yes and no. There were definitely a lot of classes like business communications. I thought that was really, really useful.
Hmm.
And everyone, when we took it, we were like, oh, why do we need to take this class? Like, blah, blah, blah. But like, we learned like how to get presentations. We did the digital portfolio. We learned how to dress business professional. We just like learned how to write for business and write concisely. And I think that kind of like set us up to do better in the rest of the classes, but also just to like know what the expectations were going to be when you were trying to get a job or trying to get an internship. And like, I feel like when you're trying to get your first internship or your first job, there's just like a lot of questions about like, am I doing this right? Like, what do I do? Like, what do I need to know? What do I need to say? And I feel like business communications and then like any classes where we had some kind of like presentation or interview prep, I think those just like helped you to like feel more confident when it came to getting jobs and internships.
So we had like different degrees and we had different classes, and both were in the business school. Like we did econ, and then you also took business classes, and I also took business classes. And I feel like business classes were really strong and really helpful, and they are the ones that kind of helped me where I am today, or like even get a job. And those skills where you can like talk to people and be able to tell what you can bring to the table, and your skills, being able to translate your skill in words is another kind of skill, and business school gives you that. And I feel like that those classes were most helpful for me. I don't think I'm using a lot that I learned in my econ classes or any other like content heavy class, and I feel like my friends would have similar opinion.
Yeah, I feel like the most the classes that I used the most from were like the things that you could like practically apply to everything
Yeah.
versus like I honestly haven't used a lot of my econ classes. I'm not in an econ field,
Yeah.
but like even just like other classes, I feel like unless you actually go into a role that is like specifically marketing or specifically accounting, like you're probably not going to use a lot of the classes that they make you take. But I think the general ones for like preparing you professionally, I use all the time.
Yeah, and one of the really good things about business school is if you're not looking at something specific, it can prepare you for a lot of different fields. And like if
Mm-hmm.
you have a business degree, you kind of go to like whatever you want to do, you can kind of do it. So it's very open ended, and which is good because sometimes you're still figuring it out even after being done with your degree.
Like I feel like a lot of the jobs that people ended up getting had a lot of things that people had to learn on the job that you wouldn't actually learn in a class. And so I think like also a lot of people I don't think really knew what they wanted to do. Like they knew they wanted to be in business somewhere, but they
Yeah.
weren't like, oh, I want to do accounting or I want to do marketing. Like it was just like, oh, I want a job and it's going to be business somewhere.
I completely agree with that. And I feel like one of the other things, other than communication part, like BCom, writing, presentations, portfolios, is Excel. Everyone's
Yes.
going to be using Excel, and please pay attention to the Excel classes and pivot tables because they will make your life easy, and also they will help you find answers for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Excel is probably the only tool I use from business school,
Business
like
school.
regularly.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even use like Word that much, or yeah, I think Excel's the main one I
Yeah, and
use, and
like,
like everybody uses Excel.
yeah.
Like every team uses Excel. Yeah, and if it's not Excel, it's Google Sheets, and it's like basically the same thing.
Yeah, basically the same thing. And also, there are so many different tools that we learn in college, Tableau and all that. But I feel like if you know basic Excel, you excel.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. You don't need to know like 100 things, but definitely know Microsoft Excel, and then Word and stuff. I think everyone generally just knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that it was able to prepare you to get jobs and internships. The portfolio was one thing. What are some other things that helped you with the job search part?
I think interview prep and networking were really helpful because interviews can be kind of scary, and I feel like a lot of the temptation in interviews is to just like list off all your accomplishments
Yeah.
and like that's it. And that's not like when you're in an interview and somebody's interviewing you, like the goal is to see like can they work with you? Like are you going to get the job done? Yes, but like also are they going to be able to work with you and like enjoy being around you, or are they just not going to really like you?
Yeah. And I feel like the biggest thing it has done is like calm down the nerves. During presentations,
Mhm.
it kind of school makes you talk so much that you get used to it. Sometimes during presentations, I've had people in my team who would like freeze and not be able to speak. And we all can get like really anxious and like overwhelmed with all of these processes. But if you've been through the training, if you've been through the right training, I feel all of these intimidating parts can like be solved and you can focus on what's there to be focused on. And that is like expressing yourself, your wants, your needs, and also learning the most about the job and if it's a right fit or not.
Yeah, I think like being comfortable and like being confident in your skills makes that a lot easier because
Yeah.
I feel like if you are just really nervous the whole time, you're just like not able to communicate any of that or just like take a step back and be like, do I even want to work here? Like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then
And
I
then,
think also is, oh, I think also they did a lot of events and career fairs and things like that. And like I personally got my job at a career fair. And so I think that part, that networking part was also really good because like if you listen to anybody applying to jobs right now, they're like, yeah, I applied to like 1,000 jobs and got an interview, like one interview. And it's just crazy. And so I think the fact that we got opportunities to network our way into jobs rather than having to just apply to a billion of them on LinkedIn was really valuable.
yeah, and you kind of get a sneak peek of like what kind of job it's going to be, and you can like talk to people in detail to understand if it's a good fit for you.
Yeah. I feel like at career fairs too, they are there to look for candidates, whereas I feel like when you're applying on LinkedIn, like one, they're not necessarily really looking for people, and then two, at a career fair, they're at that school because they want to hire from that school, and so they're going to actually go through everybody's resumes who submitted them versus there being like 30,000 applicants to a job or something like that, and they don't even look at your stuff. So I think just the chances of you getting a job through networking, through a career fair, some kind of event like that, are just a lot higher.
That's funny because I thought the career fair was useless for me. And I feel like
Really?
it's because I was
You were,
international.
yeah.
Everybody would
Mm-hmm.
have like a sign up, no sponsorship. And so there was literally not nobody I could talk to or like because they would have a sign up saying no sponsorship. And that was just so bold that, hey, if you need sponsorship, don't come talk to us. And I'm like, okay, how am I even gonna try this out if they will have that big sign put up in front of the table? So it was
Yeah.
very
I feel like it's
intimidating.
also not I feel like it's also not very useful. Like the recruiters that we had come in were like from our area, and so if you didn't want to work in that area, like you also didn't
Yeah.
really get a lot out of it.
And also like it was just too much for me personally to network at a career fair because there are like 50 students behind the queue and they're all trying to do the same thing. And I feel like with networking, now we all have a system that we follow, like ask them about them and like don't try to tell too much and have a elevator pitch ready. And so there are like 50 people who are trying to do the same thing and it's just so intimidating for like you, but also the employer.
Hmm.
So I found it a
Yeah.
little bit intimidating and like I just hated going to career fairs. I felt like
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like I had
selling
to.
myself.
Yeah, I feel like I had to like muster up the energy before,
Yeah,
and it was a good thing. It was like once a semester or something, so it wasn't like we were doing it all the time.
yeah,
But it definitely took a lot of energy, and you were kind of done by the time it was over.
yeah. It was just like I don't want to talk to anyone after this.
Yeah, yeah.
And like not going felt like fear of missing out. And then going was like
Hmm.
such a bad feeling. Like what is happening? Felt like all human machines trying to advertise and sell themselves and everyone's trying to be the same. They are the same. Like
Hmm.
we have all gone to the same school, we have learned the same things. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Do you think
I do know
people
a decent number of people who got their job from the career
career
fair, so
fair?
I
Yeah.
think it was useful for like enough people that
I agree. I do know
it's good.
people who
Yeah.
got the job, but I also agree like if you wanna move out of the area or like you don't want to do that 50 people thing, that could be too much. Um,
Yeah.
do you think people in business school all end up kind of in the same kind of roles and jobs?
Um, yeah, kind of. I feel like everyone pretty much ends up in some kind of analyst role
Analyst or
or
like
some kind of sales
sales?
role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sales or analyst. Like I'm in an analyst role. I think you're probably in an analyst
Yeah.
role. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree
And they're
because
all like they're not the exact same. Like they're
yeah.
all different to whatever like industry you're in and whatever like department you're a part of. So you could be an analyst on like a marketing team or you could be an analyst on a sales team or an analyst on a finance team. And so like they're all a little bit different, but they're all analyst business.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. People at my workplace, it feels like, of course, they're going to be different, but personality wise, everyone feels the same. At
yeah.
least at my workplace. I feel like, and I,
You're finance.
everyone has business degrees, and they're kind of the same, or maybe I'm just being weird. But there are a lot of similarities in characteristics with people I work for, at least. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the way they connect and talk to sports.
Yeah, the like business small talk. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we just like pick that up while
Yeah,
we were in business school and it's everywhere.
it's
Like,
everywhere. It's the same. The small
yeah.
talk is same.
How's your weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sports, it's always the big part.
Yes. Oh my gosh. See, like, being a woman in the workplace, I don't get the sports thing, but like, I feel like that's how all the guys connect.
Yeah.
It's like, what football team are you supporting? Like,
Oh my god, football always. I don't know if it's the
yeah.
same at other places too, but it's mainly like sports, golf, football.
Yep. Golf. People will practice their swings everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, what are some things that you learn that you think everyone should be taught?
I think networking would be number one. I think it's really difficult to do if you haven't had a lot of practice. And like we're talking about people who, like students who are not in business school, I feel like usually they don't get a lot of opportunities to network. And so I think one, like teaching how to network properly, but also just giving practice because we just had so much practice that everything became much more comfortable. And if people had more practice, I think it would be a bit more accessible. And then like people could also get jobs that way and things like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like being pushed to talk was something that I feel like everyone should go through because everyone has a lot of ideas, but not everyone can say it out loud or like able to translate it
Hmm.
in words. But business school kind of forces you when you're doing the presentations all the time to just like whatever you have in your brain, just say it. And it put like
Yeah.
words in your mouth, basically.
Yeah. And like doing it often enough that you know how to like structure everything to make it make
Yes,
sense
it brings a
on
lot
the
of structure
fly.
too.
Yeah.
That is such a good thing.
Yeah. So this was a good conversation about our business school experience and the things that went well. And in the next episode, we will talk about the things that didn't go so well. And so we will catch up with you next week and see you there.